And here it is. We go again. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to more. Here it is. We go again. So, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. It's this article versus Tinubu, as I said originally. So we've gone full circle just to land where we started from. So the die is cast, and the runners and riders have been identified. So now who nudges it at the furlong is the question. So it's Atiku versus Tinubu, as we all anticipated when this whole process started. Everything has changed, but it remains the same. Everything changed, but remains the same. We went through meandering through Peter Obi and the Yam Yams and Yemi Oshibanjo and his breakdancing. So all of that and everything, all the permutations, all the cryings, all the stabbing in the backs, and all the dollar deals, we are back where we started. It is indeed Atiku and Tinubu. So there it is right there. We know the field. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 all the memory is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 all the memory is another Savior. Holy, 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 all the memory is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your madika, yabika kokwanam no. Hey, anamekele maduche mefo. Manemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. Just sing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting it right and getting it faster now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, get him moving right, holy, faster, never freedom. Is another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior.
another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 all the memory is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 all the memory is another Savior. us to victory. Inyamadika yabika kwa namno wow. Hey, ana mekele mazuche mefo.
And there it is right there, the Holy Holy song from the farmyard singers from the eastern part of Nigeria. So guys, the die is cast, our fates are sealed, the fat lady has sung, and the curtain falls. Breaking, Tinubu wins APC presidential ticket. So there it is right there. They will still try to do whatever, and we're still expecting some sort of movement from Abdullahi Adamu and all of the usual suspects. But the die is cast, fates are sealed, the fat lady has sung, and the curtain has fallen. It matter settled, and of course settled in the way that we'd already anticipated. I mean, there was some sort of attempt to deviate you from the thought that you knew was categorical, but then you never really left that space. All the people that permutate politics, setting it in history and antecedents of people, you always had the thought that this guy will come through because he has always come through. And come through he has again. Tinubu wins APC presidential ticket. So there it is right there. Bad man looking good in DIOR. Yes, we'll probably have to mock him a little bit. So we have to mock him a little bit. Let's yes, we'll mock him later, but certainly we have to mock Osinbajo a little bit. The treachery against the Yorubas, unforgivable. Osinbajo campaign spokesman Akinola concedes defeat, reaches out to Tinubu. So this is the case of an eternal lesson of master and subject and student or word. So master and word. So the master teaches you everything you know, but he doesn't teach you everything he knows. And that idiom is what's played out here now. Oga, as they always say on the streets of Lagos, will always be master. So Oga na master, Osinbajo campaign spokesman Akinola concedes defeat, reaches out to Tinubu. So Tinubu taught him everything Osinbajo knows, but of course, it didn't teach him that everything Tinubu knows. So you must always retain a little bit of extra in case that you have to administer a correctional beating, which is what was administered to the short little man from Ikene. I have no regrets. Osinbajo's top campaigner congratulates Tinubu. That might well be somewhat repetitive, but we'll see if it is. If it is, then we just abandon that halfway. So this more somewhat of a deviation just to add to the lighter space of what transpired there. EFCC deploys beautiful female officials to Eagle Square. So they're using the babes to try to catch them at the APC convention. I wonder how many of those will actually come back with a bag full of dollars and a belly full of babies. So there it is right there. That's the deployment. So a lot of people just made a mockery of themselves in this, in what transpired yesterday at Eagle Square, Abuja. Osinbajo, certainly, he had the window to step down. Everybody expected him to, but he felt emboldened that Malam had his back. But then, of course, he has now mocked himself. But he wasn't the only one that mocked himself. APC presidential primaries, Pastor Tunde Bakare scores 0 votes after boasting of becoming 16th president. So the Lord said, but what did the Lord actually say you? So I would have loved to be a member of his congregants, to be at the service on Sunday, to engage him then in a conversation about his conversations with the Lord. The Lord said, Project 16, I am not stepping down, I am stepping up. People of high functioning, they innovate, booba and blah, 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 and all the hooplas and the brouhaha. APC presidential primaries, Pastor Tunde Bakare scores 0. In case you don't know what 0, this is 0. Not nada, nothing. Odo, as we say in Yoruba land. Pastor Tunde Bakare scores 0 votes after boasting of becoming the 16th president. So it's not becoming the 16th president. That's not to say he might not be the president in the future, but unlikely that it's just it's a 419 guy, as we all know. He's a 419 guy, and then he's played himself in this instance. But the gullibles in his church, he will just present them with a different narrative, and they'll fall in line to continue to empty their wallets into his. Becoming Nigeria's next president, not my birthright, Tinubu recants. So the language of just conciliatory language, just to taper down, because he had to go high and aggressive to get that ticket. So he has to now temper that down, and is starting to recant to a more settled and a civilized space, so that it opens then that window for people to come on board with him to build that mass to launch at Atiku. So Operation Get Me That Seat begins. Becoming Nigeria's next president, not my birthright, Tinubu recants. So politics, a book that Tinubu should write. It was Socrates that wrote the book on democracy. Tinubu should write the book on politics. APC National Convention. Truth is a casualty, says Adamu. So we're still expecting Adamu to attempt to play Joker. He might well want to say he's disqualifying Tinubu because he spoke against Buhari. Maybe that's too weak, but he will still find something to do, something to try and put an obstacle, if not a death nail, in this now victory of Tinubu. Because, of course, he really should be removed for what he did by raising the arms of his clansman even before votes were cast. APC National Convention, truth is a casualty, says Adamu. So that's Adamu. Buhari, Osinbajo returned to Eagle Square as Tinubu coast to victory. So this is Tinubu's victory is a curious one, because Tinubu's victory goes against the will of the cabal. It goes against the want of Buhari, but the party gives him that victory. However, he bought it, they like him. However you choose to square it, his hands are shaking, or his dollar, whatever and however, he has that ticket now. So what does that mean then, permutate for power brokerage within that APC dynamic? So this is the thing. Would they rally to him or rally against him to destroy him and gift the victory to Atiku? If they gift the victory to Atiku, will they take the chance then of Atiku throwing them all in jail? Because everybody in the Buhari administration should really be in jail if we have anybody that is there to serve the people. Everybody from Buhari or to the T-boy, you know, even his spokesman, he's fighting for reps. So he has they just stole money for HS Solid. So do they give it to Atiku so that he can throw them in jail? Or do they give it to Tinubu and then they lose the party to him entirely? Or do they remove Tinubu out of the way in the Abiola style? So everything in the mix for that Tinubu space. So plenty and a lot to go through. Lean back, kick back, take it easy, relax into it. But before you lean back, kick back, take it easy, or relax into it, make sure you are clicking on the like button. That is a compulsory button. So click on like. We're looking to get 150 likes with the stream. So help us on our way there by clicking on like. And as you are clicking on like, if you're next to the subscribe button, make sure you're clicked on that as well. So click on like and subscribe. So do the right thing and do those clickings. And then at your discretion, if you want to come and have a conversation around these talking points, then click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard. So this hyperlink, I'll repost the hyperlink in the comment section. So this hyperlink is at your discretion. If you want to come and join me on the screen, you click on this hyperlink and come and join me on the screen to have a conversation around the talking points. So that's at your discretion, but the like button and the subscribe button, those are mandatory buttons that you must click on for reasons that they help propel the channel of the YouTube algorithm. So as you help propel the channel of the YouTube algorithm, cannot pronounce that word today. As you help propel the channel of the YouTube algorithm, let me, by gratitude, give you liquid refreshment. Your calabash to the ready as we join the care guides.
Water, only water, only water, where they see ma. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido, hapa o naido, hapa you don't come. Oh, Hapa o Naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùyé o. Ibe sodi akẹkẹrẹ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Bobby master kẹkẹrẹ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Chief Wáìlà tí kẹkẹrẹ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdódò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petro Sọ́nàmẹ̀ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petro Sọ́dúnkẹ́ ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there it is right there. The Kegites, Iku Kuniriwagweshe Akuko Onumeiko, may death have nothing to do with us. The cockerels of the heavens don't crow yet. Don't crow yet, Akuko Onumeiko. So Akuko Onumeiko, as guys, I bring you this. Tinubu wins APC presidential ticket. Former Lagos State Governor Bola Tinubu has been announced winner of the All Progressive Congress APC primary elections. The Asiwaju of Lagos garnered half of the total votes to beat his major opponents, the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi. About 2,322 delegates from across the country had stormed Eagle Square, Abuja, to elect the flag bearer of the party ahead of the 2023 general elections. Whilst Tinubu, who doubles as the national leader of the party, got 1,299 votes, his major opponents, the former governor of Rivers State and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, scored 292 and 216 votes respectively. The Senate President Ahmed Lawan got 140 votes, whilst Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello scored 42 votes. Amongst all the aspirants who procured the 100 million naira nomination forms, 23 were successfully screened to participate in the primary. With the current development, Tinubu will face former Vice President Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and other party candidates to battle for the top political office in the forthcoming 2023 election. So there it is right there, and there it is right there. So 300, this is what they call an Israelite journey. So you've gone through the wilderness and the fields, only to land where you started from. So this is where we started this whole narrative around who gets on the ticket. We started off on a Tinubu versus Atiku permutation. We meandered around a lot of possibilities, only to land still where we started from Tinubu versus Atiku permutation. So that is the permutation, and this is now what we're contending with. So there it is right there, a lesson for Osinbajo, a lesson in life and politics. Don't mess with the daddy. It's just the lesson that he has learned. So Badman looking good in DIOR, but not anymore. So Badman no longer looking good in DIOR as he takes off that DIOR to put on Buba and Shokoto. Osinbajo campaign spokesman Akinola concedes defeat, reaches out to Tinubu. The spokesman of Yemi Osinbajo campaign organization, Mr. Richard Akinola, has conceded defeat and congratulated former Lagos State Governor Bola Tinubu. Akinola who made the disclosure in a post on his Facebook page, said, "Congratulations, Asiwaju Tinubu, the presumed winner of the primaries. In any contest, there must be a winner. However, I am very proud of my choice of support in the person of Professor Yemi Osinbajo. I have no iota of regret over my support for him. It was a privilege to play a pivotal role for him during the process. I would gladly do it over and over again. It is a matter of conviction. And for all our supporters and other volunteers who worked assiduously day and night on the PYO project, God bless you all. I am so proud of all of you. As I often say, God rules in the affairs of men, and he has a purpose for what just happened. Understandably, many of you are dispirited and downcast, but do not let your heart be troubled. There must be a reason, pardon me, there must, pardon me, there must, pardon me, there must be a reason God allowed this. It may not be manifest to us now, but later he is all-knowing. I am unfazed, unbowed, and proud of PYO. Our supporters, I beg, make una shake it off. Now so, no be so, no be so, person they die. Uh, no, let's try that again. I am unfazed, unbowed, and proud of PYO. Our supporters, I beg, make una shake am off. No be say person die, life goes on. No yawa, he wrote. Meanwhile, I'm going to have to take this all over again. Yeah, let me take it all over again. The spokesman of the Yemi Osinbajo campaign organization, Mr. Richard Akinola, has conceded defeat and congratulated the former governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu. Akinola made the disclosure in a post on his Facebook page, said, congratulations, Asiwaju Tinubu, the presumed winner of the primaries. In any contest, there must be a winner. However, I am very proud of my choice of support in the person of Professor Yemi Osinbajo. I have no iota of regret over my support for him. It was a privilege to play a pivotal role for him during the process. I would gladly do it over and over again. It is a matter of conviction. And for all our supporters and other volunteers who worked assiduously day and night on the PYO project, God bless you all. I am so proud of all of you. As I often say, God rules in the affairs of men, and he has a purpose for what just happened. Understandably, many of you are dispirited and downcast, but do not let your heart be troubled. There must be a reason God allowed this. It may not be manifest to us now, but later, as he is all-knowing. I am unfazed, unbowed, and proud of PYO. Our supporters, I beg, make una shake it off. No be say person die, life goes on. No yawa, he wrote. Meanwhile, counting of votes is concluding gradually at the All Progressive Congress special convention in Abuja, where the 2023 presidential candidate is being elected. President Muhammad Buhari left Eagle Square, venue of the convention, at about 1:20 a.m. on Wednesday, before the commencement of voting. Before his departure, Buhari told party members to remain united and avoid acrimony. The ruling party has been in turmoil since the national chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, attempted to impose a consensus candidate on the party. Meanwhile, 11 northern APC governors stood their ground and announced their decision to zone the presidency to the south. So in this instance, the Fulani stands by his words. So maybe somewhat of a redemption from elements like our Tambu Wall, or is it really? I have no regrets. Osinbajo, top campaigner, congratulates Tinubu. So I think this may well be a rehash of what we just read. A top campaigner for Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Richard Akinola, has congratulated Mr. Tinubu on his expected victory in the presidential primary of the People's Democratic Party is of the All Progressive. I don't know where I got that from. Of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Akinola, a lawyer and journalist, extended his wishes to the APC chieftain on Wednesday in a statement posted on his Facebook page. Congratulations, Asiwaju Tinubu, the presumed winner of the primaries. Yes, it just repeated what I've just read out now twice. So let me not read it out for a third time. So a deviation somewhat from that space to this space. EFCC deploys beautiful female officials to Eagle Square. Our correspondents can authoritatively report that some beautiful female officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have stormed the Eagle Square, the venue of the ongoing presidential primary of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC). While some of the operatives were dressed in their official apron, other female officials were in mufti. The officials of the anti-graft agency are the special convention, so that should be art. The official of the anti-graft agency asked the special convention to monitor illegal use of naira and other currency, whether the delegates are selling their votes to the highest bidder. An activist, the Adeyanju, had written to the EFCC to monitor the convention alleging naira reign. So I'm not sure that the Adeyanju can claim any credit for prompting anything. So APC presidential primaries. So from that to this, APC presidential primaries, Pastor Tunde Bakare scores 0 votes after boasting of becoming our 16th president. Pastor Tunde Bakare of the Citadel Global Community Church polled 0 votes in the just concluded All Progressive Congress (APC) presidential primaries. After spending 100 million naira to purchase the nomination and expression of interest forms of the APC, the senior pastor did not bother to travel around for consultations with party leaders or national delegates in their states. Bakare, however, vowed to win the 2022 presidential primary of the ruling party and become the 16th president of Nigeria. According to the cleric, God had made him a promise of making him President Buhari's successor. So that's the space that I wanted to land on. So God made him the promise. So I guess it was off the back of God's promise that he did not bother, or his alleged God promise, let me not blaspheme on behalf of this Muslim turned cleric. I guess it's off the back of his alleged God promise to him that he did not bother to go and canvass for votes to secure the ticket, because allegedly, according to him, he already has a divine ticket. According to the cleric, God had made him a promise of making him President Buhari's successor, but this turned out as one of the lofty dreams that never happened as the former. But this turned out as one of those lofty dreams that never happened as the former Congress for Progressive Change (CPC) vice presidential candidate failed to score even a vote during the APC primaries held at Eagle Square, Abuja on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The primary election was, however, won by former Lagos State and national leader of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Tinubu scored 1,070. So there's even been more votes since then. Tinubu scored 1,070 votes to defeat his closest rival. And by the way, Osinbajo did not even come second. Let's just note that. To defeat his closest rival and former Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Amechi, who scored 238, and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who came third with 177. So, pardon me, hold on. Pardon me. Yeah, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Sorry, I'm just going to play you.
Omeriwo n'Izu Odiloya Abakare Mama Daora Unapoli Meri Nandi win the war Python that's one, Python that's two Now Python that's a three Unapoli Meri Nandi win the war Python that's one, Python that's two Now Python that's a three Unapoli Meri Nandi bu onye du aimo omeriwo n'Izu Odiloya Abakare Mama Daora Unapoli Meri Nandi win the war Python that's one, Python that's two Now Python that's a three Unapoli Meri Nandi win the war Python that's one, Python that's two Now Python that's a three Unapoli Meri Nandi win the war Python that's one, Python that's two Now Python that's a three Unapoli Meri Nandi win the war Python that's one, Python that's two Now Python that's
Apologies for that. I just had to take a call. So where were we? So the mockery of Tunde Bakari. Everybody gets mocked in this particular cycle. Oga still na master. What we're realizing, becoming Nigeria's next president are not my birthright. Tinubu recants. So let me just let's take this off for a moment. So here is a full text then. Our encounter with destiny. This is what they've titled it. A full speech of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There comes a time in a nation when the hopes of the people calls forth a certain leader. This is such a moment. Let not the destiny of this land be stolen because we did not do what was meant for us to do at this critical moment. Remember, we formed this party not simply to wrest power from the wrong and failing PDP. We formed this party to give the people of this land the progressive good governance they deserve so that they can live lives well and as peacefully as any people on the face of this earth. This corrective journey began with the election of President Muhammad Buhari. At this convention, we must take the next step towards the proper and necessary direction. In 2015, the All Progressive Congress won the election to halt the drift in our nation's governance, redirect our path, and make clear our national priorities. I dedicate this party to the guiding principle that government must be for the benefit of each and every Nigerian before it is for the benefit of any single one of us. No one is above legal rule or regulation. Likewise, no one is too low for justice and compassionate governance to cover and protect him. Within this context, the APC under President Muhammad Buhari has governed with patriotic and disciplined commitment these past 7 years. The Buhari government has championed needed reforms ranging from an innovative petroleum industry law to measures that are aimed at improving power and electricity generation for all Nigerians. Government has invested heavily in building modern airports and rail network and roads. Every naira is better managed than in prior administrations. This greater fiscal probity was achieved despite the vast reduction in national revenue caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and recurrent global economic downturns. The Buhari government has done more with much less than its PDP predecessors did. The successive PDP administrations did next to nothing with the plenty they had. What they did with our national abundance is no secret, but what they did not do was even a greater embarrassment. They left abandoned infrastructure projects all across the nation. The APC completed them. They allowed ISWAP/Boko Haram to erect strongholds. the Buhari government has been compelled to wage a great war against these threats because of the decades of neglect by the PDP. The PDP should be uprooted. The PDP should have uprooted this evil when it was first at its seed. The APC-led government is now left to contend with the dangerous tree it has become. Yet, as surely as I can state my name, the next APC government shall uproot this evil such that never again shall it try to take hold of this land. Whilst fighting this evil with a purposeful hand, we remain mindful of the social, economic, and political inequality or inequity that often spawns unrest and social destability. So just some long-winded essay. It's just too many paragraphs for me to wade through. But essentially, he's now fleshing out his presidential position. APC National Convention, truth is a casualty, says Adamu. APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu on Tuesday night in Abuja said truth was a casualty going into the ruling party's three-day national convention, climaxing in the presidential primary election. He noted that presidential contest in all political parties usually heated up the polity. It is said that in all serious social-political contests, truth is the first casualty. It is so in this contest, said the APC chairman. Adamu decried unsubstantiated negative media reports against the party in some sections, saying that there was need for the media to ensure factual reporting. We recognize the people's right to freedom of speech and of press, but all freedoms impose a major responsibility on those who exercise them and how they are exercised, stated Mr. Adamu. The reckless exercise of that freedom from the high and low impinges on the rights and responsibilities of all citizens. He stated this at the party's special convention and presidential primaries election. So I'm trying to see where he's going with this, is really why I'm reading it out. I'm wanting to see if he wants to retract from what he did with Ahmed Lawan. It doesn't take rocket science to unite a party. It takes sincerity of purpose, commitment, and determination to sacrifice our individual interests and ambitions for the greater interest of the party, explains the APC chair. Adamu stressed the need for reconciliation in all the party's state chapters. Our efforts are required to work, perfecting electoral processes in our country. This feat would not have been attained without the cooperation of everyone concerned, Mr. Adamu said. It is a clear indication that our party has emerged stronger from the grievances. We are united and we are speaking with one voice once more. He further noted that at the end of the primaries, the party will begin a steady search towards a steady march. He further noted that at the end of the primaries, the party will begin a steady march towards the 2023 elections, going by our resolute commitment to win and win big in all levels of elective offices up for contest. Mr. Adamu described the convention as the final lap towards the 2023 general elections, adding that the contest of the party's flag in the coming presidential election have been robust and statesmanlike. We welcome all those who threw their hearts in the ring. They are patriots. It is a seal to build on. The foundation of comprehensive national development laid by President Mohamed Buhari. So there it is right there. I'm not sure. Osinbajo and Buhari returns to Eagle Square. I'm not sure if we need to read this out, but let me just read just to fulfill all righteousness. Buhari Osinbajo returned to Eagle Square as Tinubu coast to victory. President Muhammad Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo have returned to Eagle Square, the venue of the presidential primary election of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, even as it is becoming increasingly clear that former Governor Bola Tinubu is set to clinch the presidential ticket of the party. Buhari had left Eagle Square yesterday at the commencement of the voting by delegates. The president, who is not a delegate and therefore cannot vote in the election, left after delivering his address to the convention. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo left Eagle Square early Wednesday morning as it became increasingly clear that his dream of succeeding his boss as Nigeria's next president may have come to naught. Osinbajo was rated along former Lagos Governor Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu as the front-runner amongst the 23 contenders for the 2023 presidential ticket. But events at Eagle Square suggested that he may not stand a chance against the man who first brought him to limelight by appointing him as Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in Lagos. Tinubu also nominated him as the vice president to President Muhammad Buhari following the victory of APC in 2015. Indeed, Osinbajo was booed as a betrayer for contesting against his former boss and benefactor on arrival at the Eagle Square on Tuesday evening. Things got worse for Osinbajo when his former boss was endorsed by two former governors, a sitting governor, a former speaker, and the youngest amongst the 23 aspirants. However, it is not clear whether the vice president departed Eagle Square early in anticipation of loss of the primary election, or he just went to refresh himself with the possibility that he will return before the commencement of the sorting of ballots and announcement of the result of the primary election. Meanwhile, the sorting of the ballot from the 40 boxes used for the election has continued, with Tinubu scoring majority of the vote so far. So there it is right there. Fait accompli. Daddy still daddy. So daddy still daddy. So as we bring it in, then let's just do a before and after for Yemi Osinbajo. This is before, this is when he was preening and peacocking. So this is Yemi Osinbajo in his full pump. Let me come off the screen so you get
That man looking good. That man looking good in the that man to the core. That man looking good. That man looking good in the that man to the core. That man looking good. That man looking good in the that man to the core.
So that was Yemi Osinbajo when the Malams were jollying him along that they could help him do something. So the penny now drops and the moment is now. So this is Yemi Osinbajo now. And there it is right there, the final curtains for Yemi Osinbajo. Baba Akure, I see you. The Maicha Jalekoko, I see you. Tunaja, I see you. DOG, I see you. And Brownberry, I see you. So can I implore anybody that's comfortable to have their cameras on, let's have them on, because people want to see you match your words with your with your face. So let's go to the first person too, though, that Baba Akure. What a development. What are you making of this? And there it is right there. Where we started, though, is where we've now landed.
Well, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Um, like I said a couple times, I know that Tinubu will fight to the last day. And if you remember, if you could recall last week, I said he is the Escobar of Nigeria politics because if you look at the story of Escobar, Escobar never gave up in Colombia until the last day. So just like that, we've saw that we've seen that today, and a lot of people have been saying this also for many times that it's going to be Atiku versus Tinubu and stuff like that. That's so then we just have to choose one out of the two, and we eventually saw that this morning. So, but one of the concern is that when we, for the past 3 days, we'll be permutating in different way and stuff like that. And up to yesterday, they said, oh, well, it is going to be down to the south alone. Like southern part of Nigeria has been shortlisted. So, which means it's supposed to be Amechi, Tinubu, Osinbajo, and this man from Ekiti State. So there has been a lot of confusion. If you look at the convention yesterday, you will see that some people that they have already screened out of the race self, they still came out and say something, and they told their colleagues that, okay, well, I'm supporting so person. I think they should have finalized that internally, because that one alone even wasted a lot of the time. To me, I think they're supposed to have finished everything last night, but that one alone take a lot of time. Look at when this guy was talking. Though Bankole made his own speech very snappy and get out of the way. So a lot of them like that, even fire me and stuff like that. So all these people, I think, since they screened them out of it, they're supposed to have just done.
Yes, it was unnecessarily lengthy. It was we did a live stream of it. I saw you asking me to post the link on the stream yesterday, but I was on another stream. We were live streaming it to see what everybody was saying. So it was just so long.
Yeah, I saw that to be unnecessary because you've already vowed to support somebody. They shouldn't even come to the stage. So it is a lot of confusion even within that party. Well, congratulations to Tinubu for winning the race, but there's a lot of confusion in this convention, because remember, I think they were like 30 something before. Oyegu said, okay, we've already reduced to 10. After 10 again, 2 days ago, they said, okay, it's supposed to be Ahmed Lawan. Then they kick against that. Then Oyegunde came out again and said, okay, well, it is going to be, they already all agree with the governors and the National Working Committee. They've already sown everything to the south now. We technically supposed to be Tinubu and people from the south. Then later yesterday, we heard that, okay, well, they've already narrowed it down to like 2 or 3 candidates. Who are these 2 or 3 candidates? So I was expecting Tinubu, Osinbajo, and Amechi. But it was so surprised that when they want to have convention, Rocha came out, Tunde Bakari came out, and all these people were saying that they are not stepping down for anybody. So there is a lot.
Tunde Bakari said he was stepping up. he said he was stepping up.
But they didn't get 1 vote, they got 0. So you can see there's a lot of confusion still in the convention. Now, what came to my mind this morning is that since Bola Ahmed Tinubu, since Osinbajo did not win the election now, I don't know how we might say it is politics and stuff like that. Everybody wants this power, and I have been saying this is last year that Osinbajo, to me at that time, even he has not even declared intention, but the way I study him, and I said I said on this platform, I said, how are you sure that Osinbajo is not even going to run for presidency? So then it came to pass. It is like everybody's just prophesying on this platform, and it is coming to pass anyway. I'm not too back. I'm not.
Yeah, the Lord did not tell you that you will never succeed.
So we'll be seeing a lot of things that is going on. So now the problem now is that how are they going to amend the crack in their relationship? I mean, the Tinubu and though we know that they are all politicians because they are all the same.
Do you think it's gone too far? Do you think Tinubu can never forgive him?
Well, you know, they are all party too, and you know, politicians, they are very funny. So I'm not really going to say that. I'm not going to say yes or no, because just wait. When the time comes, now you see them become friends again. They just forget about talk. By the time some elder statement in Yoruba land make us to Tinubu, and it's just, let's forget. That's how life goes. You will see them. It is we have problem. We masses, we are the person that have problem. They don't have problem. They do not. Before they make 2 phone calls, everything will be forgotten, and they will become friend. But I don't know. We never can tell. Maybe. And there's another thing that I want to mention. We might see little crack. Like you remember the first race Ahmed Lawan's hand that he's the person that is the consensus candidate. Now that he did not win, I'm seeing that some northern element might want to work against the candidate that is just nominated. That is what I see. That I could be wrong. Anyway.
I know. I see that too. I see them first trying to wrestle that mandate away from him, which they are not likely to succeed. We already know that Tinubu he will die for defending it.
Yes.
But then if they don't succeed, then they will work against him at the elections to give the victory to Atiku.
Exactly.
Do they want to run that risk of being probed by Atiku? So this is where they find themselves.
Where the issue is that it's a matter of just reaching consensus. But remember, I will always make this comment, because Baba Ahmed said it on his own, said it in his own statement, that they work against Jonathan in 2015 for northern interest. So that could also come to play here. There is no way we will be talking that we will not refer back to what happened in the previous years. So it's no issue of mentioning not every single time, but it is what we have seen. So that might also come to play in this election. It's a matter of just reaching consensus. So this is what happened. We are going to do this for you. So I hope you are not going to do this. You are not going to do that for us. Then they reach consensus. They are from the same place. But to me, I see that there's some issue of a defection from APC, or even if they don't even defect, I see that some people will be working underground against their own party to support Atiku in this coming election.
All right, brilliant. Well put. So let me take that question round, Baba Akure. So let's go to Niger. So to Niger, I think we pretty much saw it in yesterday's session, because all the permutations were pointing in that direction. But because the space is so convoluted and so messy, nobody was really brave enough to call it. I think Alexander Gomez actually called it, but it wasn't even. It's a landslide, well in excess of half the votes already gone to this guy. But Yemi Osinbajo, a pretense of a performance, the public shaming of Yemi Osinbajo, will pull his trousers down and flog him moment. That is how I see it. How do you?
I have to give it to Tinubu, because whatever you say about the man, he has managed to pull something off that you have to. Personally, I like to see people working together. He's done that, and you have to give him credit for that. But in terms of Osinbajo, I think he did what he had to do, because it's not a one-man's show. personally, the title seems to imply that Osinbajo is the one to be flogging that got all the flogging. But personally, I'm sorry, I'm going to rough up a few feathers here, because I see the Southeast as the biggest problem here, and the South. They themselves are about 50-something million people, Southeast and South. How is it that we could be looking at the prospect of a Southwest president for 16 years? The Southeast and the South haven't got anything, and I put most of the blame on the Southeast. Their leaders have been.
Are you discounting Jonathan?
Jonathan is about 6-7 years, isn't he? So I'm taking him on, but that is 6-7 years. Obasanjo 8 years. The next Obaga that comes in might be another 8 years. That's 16 years. And also, there is another Fulani on the other side that could be 16 years again. How did we get here? How did we get here?
We've always said that the Southeast, they don't politic. They don't know how to politic. And that wasn't a criticism. That's just an observation of the Nigerian landscape. They came very late into this 2020 because they're so busy within Nnamdi Kanu space for so many years. Whilst everybody were putting their structures in place, they were doing Nnamdi Kanu. And then at the last minute,
Just look at how the Yorubas just marched on in one lockstep and did what they needed to do. Look at how they did that. And why I hold Igbos responsible? Because I've been in the South. I've seen how things go there. The Igbo people keep dismissing the South. They could work with the South. They have 50-something million. They outnumber the Southwest, but they weaken the side because they have too focused. Maybe I shouldn't blame them. They are too focused on being separatists instead of trying to run the country, take over the country. The whole thing, when you look at it now, I feel like there is going to be serious problems, because if you look at, if he's a Southwest leader, he could be for 16 years. If he's a Fulani, he could be for another 16 years. That's the prospect we are looking at. And if I know the history of Nigeria, they don't like powerful Southern leaders. They don't like it. If you look at with Abiola and any other Southern leader that wants to come in, I think Awolowo, that's one of his problems too. Any Southern leader that is strong, they don't like them. They always find a way, because the North is always afraid that the South is just going to run, advance way too fast beyond them. So if they want to vote for a Southern leader, they're going to think twice. Like Osinbajo would have gotten their vote, but I fear Tinubu will not. Not to mention the fact that the South.
But Tinubu doesn't lose elections.
He doesn't. That's true. But it's one thing not to lose an election. It's one thing when the other guy on the other side is Atiku, and in the North.
Atiku loses elections.
Yes, that's true. Atiku loses. There's always a first time to lose an election. Let's face it. And Abiola never lost anything until he lost the one he lost.
He didn't
even lose. Exactly. He didn't even lose. He didn't even lose, and still he lost. So you see the problem that we are facing. Awolowo, they wouldn't let him be president because they know this guy was a revolutionary and a powerful leader. They don't tend to like those type of leader from the South. Jonathan, good. Obasanjo,
do you think Peter Obi should collapse his structure into the Tinubu narrative? Should they collapse his structure into Tinubu's narrative?
That would be the logical thing to do, but I don't think it will ever.
Because he's not going to be president. I think do we agree that he's not, Peter Obi is not going to be president?
Not one chance.
Yeah, and there's a chance of Tinubu being.
There's a good chance of Tinubu being.
So he should just collapse his structure into Tinubu's.
But it's not in the bloodline. It's not in the blood of the Igbo. It's not in the blood of Igbo to lay down for anybody. And I really think that Igbo should have a meeting and discuss this among themselves and know how they relate to the other members of the country. Because I think it's the leaders. If the leaders don't do it, the youth should demand it of them. Because
really, it's the Igbo turn. No, we have to say that just to fulfill all righteousness and to be correct. Not to pretend as though it is the Igbo's turn.
Of course, it should have been their turn a while ago, and they just keep squandering. And they keep talking about Biafra. I say you keep scaring the horses when you keep talking about Biafra constantly. You could run this whole country and control West Africa completely, and you're worrying about Biafra constantly. You know, their leaders, they need to talk to them and tell them, you know what, we can't have this nonsense anymore. Igbo leadership, they don't understand that their people are suffering. They keep being divided, keep looking at who is getting one over the other, instead of them to understand that, okay, you are 30 million. The South is 26 million. Talk to them. Most of them are your brothers already. But whenever I hear Igbo people talk about the South, they dismiss them as if they don't exist. 26 million of them, and you are 30 million. This is why that area of Nigeria is weaker. They should be stronger in the south if they were working together. Because the Yorubas on the west, they are all together. They seem to they behave as if they are all together. But why is it that from Benin to Calabar, why are they not together? Because this is the weakness that the south has. And this is why it looks like only the southwest is the one producing all the presidents from the south. And that's how it's going to look when Tinubu wins. I don't know whether he's going to win, but if you look at the history of Nigeria, they don't like powerful southern leaders. That's my take on it.
But Obasanjo was a powerful southern leader.
But Obasanjo is a collegiate kind of person. He works with people and stuff like that. But Obasanjo is an easygoing guy. It's almost like what they call it, Jonathan. Really, he wasn't powerful.
Tinubu is an easygoing guy too. But the problem, he is. Tinubu is more of a team person, team builder sort of a person than Obasanjo or Buhari or the rest of them. But the problem they will have with Tinubu is maybe he's too Yoruba, he's too ethnic, because he's a very ethnic man.
Because he made that clear in the last speech, one of the major speeches he made recently, where he was talking in Yoruba language and saying all those things. And those type of things is the kind of stuff, when he was saying those things, that is the kind of stuff that if I was an Igbo man, I would be flogging myself with cane all the time. Like, look at how these people are able to lament their problems, and they fixed it quickly. They fixed it quickly. And Wike came from the north and said his own people slapped him in the back. Man, Igbo people, they really need to have a serious talk with their leadership.
It's a mind change that I think, because we need the East in Nigeria because they offer so much. They are probably the most gifted people in Nigeria, so we need them.
They are not organized. They are not organized. That's why
forget their interest. Their interest. Our interest in them is even bigger than their interest in themselves. But they always self-sabotage because they like to go into some fairy tale. Anyway, let me not go too fine because I don't want to sound too ethnic, but there's issues that needs to be resolved. This was an open goal now. If they had packaged it together, if the Nnamdi Kanu narrative had been replaced by an Igbo narrative that ran that 4 years that Nnamdi Kanu ran, it's impossible for anybody to stop an Igbo presidency now.
Can you imagine that? The first and second this position in APC to the southwest. Do you know how embarrassing that is? These people, if they don't have shame, today they should start learning that how to organize themselves. Instead of this kind of attitude where they just sabotage themselves over and over again, reacting from feelings. Many of the Southeast people are so into themselves that they don't understand. They behave like Abel. You said that they have a lot to offer. Just like Abel had a lot to offer in the Bible. Guess what? He is dead. You have to understand that how to deal with people around you. Maybe if Abel had decided to work with Cain, he wouldn't have all the problem he had that Cain had to plank him in the head. This type of attitude that they take all the time with all their gifts, they can't seem to realize that the real gift you need to have is how to work with other people. Yoruba people seem to understand this innate wisdom. They seem to have this innate wisdom of knowing when to step down and knowing when to stand up. But that is not with the East. They don't even know how to treat people that are next door to them as friends. They dismiss them. Literally, even their young men today, you go online, you hear them, when somebody from the South or a German says something, they get out of here. How can you get anything done?
We've even had that we've even had that on this platform, that attitude. Somebody coming here to be dismissive of
it's so terrible. How can they not even understand the numbers? I don't understand it. It's almost as if somebody is going there to sabotage Igbos among them, lie to them. Because how can you not know that these people are the people you need to work with to empower that region? And it's almost as if first and second position, Southwest, and with a big gap. It's ridiculous. It doesn't even beg this thing saying. I think they said Amechi was second out, so maybe I'm mistaken there.
Yes, Amechi is second, but I wanted to take that on as a topic with Ajanle Koko, but carry on with your thoughts.
Yeah, so I guess I'm going around in circles.
I can hear the frustration in your, because it's an open goal that was there to be scored. And it was missed. Yeah,
it's been going on. They could have run cycles and won the PDP because Wike was a strong candidate. They sabotaged him. They could have been a major contender in APC, but they spend so much time looking inwards. Instead of, you hear them online, they just keep going on about Biafra. I was like, you are talking about Biafra, your people are suffering right now. You are not looking at what is going on around you. You are talking about Biafra, you are dismissing the South that you needed to get your Biafra. Recently, they went to court to go and sue for Biafra, and a lot for IPOB, and they won the case in the court. The moment they won the case, a South and a German just walked into the court to go and sue them for taking the territory of Ijo as part of Biafra. How can you not even understand that the Ijo people are different from you? When you keep making the same mistake over and over again, when they create Biafra, they draw the map of Biafra to include the Ijo people. What kind of disrespect is that? It's like they are self-sabotaging constantly. Like, I don't get it. I really don't understand it. Somebody needs to have a serious talk in Igbo leadership and find out what is going on with them.
All right.
That's all I got to say.
Can I piggyback on what two man said? Good morning, one man.
Good morning. Good to have you. Carry on.
Yeah, great job last night. I don't know how you're still up at this time, but somewhere.
Don't worry, I'm on adrenaline. Go on.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, there was a time I lost my cool on this program once, and I mentioned that if the Igbos lose this presidency, they should blame IPOB. Remember, I kind of lost my temper at the point because I was frustrated. So to my Igbo brothers and sisters, when you hear these words, it's not because we hate you. It's coming out of love and frustration. It's not because we hate you guys. Okay. And one thing I've learned in life is, in life, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you can negotiate. In life, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you can negotiate. And the best form of negotiation is being in the powerful position. You don't have the numbers. So when you negotiate from a place of weakness, you have to negotiate very well. It's like playing poker. If I owe the ace, I will always beat you all the time. So that's what is kind of frustrating with our Eastern brothers, that they don't understand politics 101. And look at the numbers. Lagos will always give you between 1.4 and 1.6 million for this current dispensation. I mean, last 21 years from next night. Kano will give you 1.8 to 2 million. And Port Harcourt, of course, Port Harcourt, that area, they give you like 1.1 to 1.2 million. So if I'm a political party and I want to win, if I don't pick you, it's not because I'm a tribalist or I hate you. It's because I want to win, and you don't have the numbers. So when it comes to dialogue and negotiations, you have to come to me. You need me more than I need you. So this notion that I have to come to you because you deserve it does not make any sense. And that's what I'm trying to say. And I think if I can second or want to man thing they're saying, you don't have the numbers.
You see, their biggest undoing was that sorry, Babati, but
yes,
what I say as the biggest undoing was that politic of entitlement that they were playing. Rather than to play politics, they were playing entitlement.
Right.
And that was, and we said that severally here, that this politics of entitlement is a road to nowhere.
You can be entitled if you have a bigger bargaining chip, but you have the smallest bargaining chip amongst the so-called big three in Nigeria, right? So if you look at the numbers, you have probably like behind South, not Central or South. So you don't have that much of a say when it comes to bargaining. And like I said, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you can negotiate. So nobody's going, like if I'm PDP now and I gave it to Atiku, I know it's unfair to you guys, but I want to win as a political party. I'm not giving it to you if I want to win in Nigeria right now because you don't have the post. So that's what I just want them to understand, that when we say these kind of things, we don't hate you guys when we say it. It's coming out of position and out of love for you guys.
All right, brilliant. Well put. Let's hear from X0. Yeah.
I'm at work. Yes, I'm at work. I just had to hop in quickly. Okay.
Okay, go on.
I don't know. I thought you were speaking with one True to Power. Was it Babati that was talking all along?
No, it was two Niger that was speaking, and then Babati he dovetailed off what he was saying to expand on that thought. Okay. I just want to say a word towards what
Naija was saying. Well, I heard him say so much about the Igbos. I don't want to sound like
and
the
he's
normal.
from that area, by the way, from that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
there's something he must differentiate. I didn't hear Ogbonna Yakanu speak about Biafra. I didn't hear Orji Kalu speak about Biafra. In fact, most of the members of all the members of the party that were Igbo, APC, I never heard them speak about Biafra. So if you want to talk about this in the Igbo and all those things, please try to make that dichotomy clear, that those seeking Biafra are different from the politicians and some other members of the populace. Just like in the North, where you have people sympathetic, even in the North is worse. They have people, politicians sympathetic to Boko Haram and Sharia. You didn't even go there. Now you're going against Igbo politicians for what they don't support and have not uttered a word about in support of. I've never heard one Igbo socialite or celebrity or even a politician say we are looking for Biafra. Nobody said that.
I think maybe you are approaching it from the wrong angle. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tunaija, but I think what is being said by Tunaija and to some extent Babati is that the Biafra narrative, we run this session, so we know what goes on in politics, and what leads in politics was is whatever is at the topmost within the discussion space. So there was a time for a very long time, all we ever talked about was Biafra, was Nnamdi Kanu, and for no other reason, because that was where the news was within the Nigerian space. So the East spent so much time. So it's not necessarily what the politicians were doing, but what dominated the political output of that space. And what dominated the political output of that space was that vice grip that Nnamdi Kanu and his posse had on that narrative. So they were not in the politics with that being the highlight. They were in that Biafran space with that being the chanting. And then at the 11th hour, when the realism of, well, the people used to come here and tell us that the election will never take place. Nigeria will disintegrate. And you're still telling them that this is... So all of that was going on. And then at the 11th hour, when the reality of realism came in, then came in with politics of entitlement. But it was already too late because they didn't do the groundwork, because they spent so much time letting Nnamdi Kanu dominate the space with his fanciful, whatever it is that he was doing.
Anyway, I believe I made my point clear. I'm not trying to deviate from the topic. I believe right now we should be looking at the topic on ground, which is Tinubu's emergence as the party flag bearer and his chances, the permutations, how he's going to get a deputy. But if we go to the Igbo narrative, we are going to deviate.
Leave the Igbos and give us your commentary on that, the Tinubu space. So his victory, does that catch you off guard, or did that catch you off guard? And what does it mean?
It never caught me off guard. As time progressed, we started with that. I believe you were one of the people who were seriously saying that Tinubu is either Tinubu or there's what's it called? A kind of conspiracy. But it was Tinubu from the onset. He was the one who had all the money and all the people, So he had been working towards this for long. So then things started happening. We started seeing shakeups in his Southwest caucus, and we started thinking maybe there's a power from above that is behind the shake in the Southwest politics, and why they are openly going against Tinubu, like the Aregbesolas, Osinbajo, and even the Dapo Abiodun, who were known to have given their delegates the permission to support Osinbajo, So, but now it is clearer that the governors are very powerful. In fact, the governors played a strong role in giving this ticket to Tinubu, and it's going to be vice versa, because Tinubu is now going to allow them freeway and then possibly pick his deputy amongst them, but then they have secured their own places, So the matter now is between Tinubu and whoever becomes the new darling of the people. We might be underrating the likes of Obi. We are not putting him now in the picture because I think some of us are now thinking he's a small fry. But please, Have you seen what is going on around? You seen the
no. You know, this is what this you did listen to the criticism.
I don't want. Yeah, I know you're going to go there.
Is wishful thinking. You are still in the wishful. Come out.
No. I'm not being wishful now. I'm not being wishful. I think you need woman. I think what you need to do is sample opinion of people, and you see who the influencers. There are influencers in that society. There are influencers in Nigeria. Sample the people the influencers are talking about, and you see the OB picture. The OB picture is going to be there until, and don't forget, the people who are siding OB, there are different kind of voters. The new voters and the those who have not been in the picture before are coming in. So it might be a matter of Tinubu and Atiku sharing the northern votes, because I know definitely Tinubu is going for a northern deputy, which is going to share the northern vote. But there's a cream, there's a part of the population that are for OB that's going to make it between OB and the Tinubu slash.
Somebody came on the platform yesterday, because somebody came on the platform yesterday. X0 from Nigeria. Is a senior person, not a senior person, but somebody of your class in society. Educated, intelligent, young, all of that sort of stuff. So somebody just like you. And he was saying to us that, look, he's a man about town. And when it goes to all these watering holes where they go to watch football, the topic usually goes to politics. And when they start to talk about the Peter Obi narrative, it's the usual things that we hear, the aggressive fervor and the ethnic tonality. And he's saying to us that it's an ethnic minor but very loud group that is the Obi narrative. This is what he's saying to us, and this is also what we experience even on this little platform that we all gather. When people are trying to point to the lack of really fiber of the Obi narrative,
in Nigeria,
it's just that fairy tale land, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, in Nigeria, there are some people who make things go viral. Have you seen these musicians and comedians, and you see the way they make things go viral? Do you know that amongst their followers,
all these viral people not Osinbajo backers?
No, I want to come down to the main point. I want to land the main point. I want to land the main point so you understand.
Reality.
Yeah, reality. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to land the main point. The last election. Please, let me land it before I go. Please, let me land it before I go. I'm about to go, please.
Because it's calling from work.
The last election. You know, the last election, there was 30 million votes. And then in Big Brother house, guess how many votes?
We're back there.
About 28 million. You understand? And these people are the people that influence these voters. These people who voted in the Big Brother, they are not children. No, I'm saying.
How can you be comparing people that vote in BB like that to people that go and vote?
I'm about to go inside. You will talk.
Let's go back to reality.
I'm going back in. So these people are human beings, and they've been encouraged to go get their voters. That's why I'm saying I'm not disputing anything. Right now, for me, the way Nigeria is now, because I almost thought that Buhari had a candidate. But it appeared to me at some point, your power, your influence cannot do anything when it comes to the real votes. So that's why I say there's a lot of things at play right now, but we will see how it goes. But don't underestimate the power of these people that I just mentioned. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. There's a band called The Monkeys. This is probably out of your generational loop. And they sang a song called Cheer Up, Sleepy Jane. So they say, cheer up, Sleepy Jane, or what can it be? A daydream believer. So a daydream believer. So it says, cheer up, Sleepy Jane, or what can it mean? That a daydream believer and a homecoming queen. So daydream believing. So we're still. I'm rather disappointed that it's gone. I was just checking the lyrics of that song for the benefit of for the benefit of X0. Daydream believing. This is the problem right there. You say, hold on, no. all that you said to Niger, that's what just played out now.
They don't know when to say, okay, this is time to fall in line. They don't understand that logic. They scatterbrain kind of thinking that never gets us anywhere. It's outstanding. He just did it again. The stronger Peter Obi is ensuring that Atiku wins. The stronger Peter Obi is ensuring that Atiku wins, because this in what's his name? Tinubu is going to fight hard. But if he's only going to be undermined by Peter Obi, and
sorry, in fact, the fight is going to be so tight now that Peter Obi will not get any votes, because all the votes now, everybody needs every single vote.
Yeah.
For Peter Obi, for Tinubu to defeat Atiku, he needs every single vote. For Atiku to defeat Tinubu, he needs every single vote. So they're not going to even allow Peter Obi to get any votes.
If I was Atiku, I would pick Wike. Then they will have big problem on their hand, because then
to Niger.
Sorry, to Niger. Let our DOJ come in. I think it was to
quite
you see, let me tell you something. The mistake Atiku will make is choosing a Easterner as the vice president. It needs somebody from the southwest that is strong. If not, it's going to be so easy. It's going to be easier run for Tinubu. You will see, because that northern vote that people think Atiku will get. Majority of the people that actually supported Tinubu for
mention who is strong from the southwest.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying the reality. I don't need to decide for him. But I'm saying if you choose Wike or anybody from the east, it's as easy a done deal for Tinubu. Because the narrative, I don't like it. When people say he's going to get the northern vote. You see, most of the people that supported Tinubu to get this ticket are the northerners. They are the ones that really rally around him. And if you look at the numbers, it says a lot. Tinubu needs to open a school for likes of them, Showori and Osinbajo. And I think Osinbajo should have actually even stepped down when he saw all the governors. That would have actually it would have been like a sacrifice to go back to Tinubu, because it was obvious. Yeah?
So you know why he didn't step down?
Why?
Okay, let him tell you in his own words.
Bad man looking good.
Man,
He's a bad man looking good in DIOR. That's why.
This guy is just cool. You like to hit Osinbajo when he's down. This is one of the. You just keep talking.
Because
bad man looking good in DIOR.
Because you see, I've been always saying the politics of Nigeria is that shows us how strong. And when I said one thing, that what Tinubu said is more like a ripple effect. When he said he was under help Tinubu, who is the boss now? He's even the boss of Buhari, if you look at how everything turned out. Because I'm sure even Buhari would be shocked himself how everything worked out for the guy. So for me, for Atiku to even have a strong fight with Tinubu in that election, he needs a southwest person that is strong. That I don't know whether they have that kind of person in PDP. But that is how I say, because if you go for the Easterner, you should forget it. And I'm sure you'll be thinking about that right now.
Wike is south-south, it's not southeast. And secondly, if he decides to go for southwest, I don't think he's going to weaken this thing. What's his name? Atiku necessarily, because the Igbos could decide to vote for him just because of that alone. You see what I mean? So, but if you go for a southwest again, then Igbos will just go for.
Igbos won't vote for a northern president. That's one thing you need to register.
You'll be surprised,
now.
You'll be surprised.
Why would they want to vote for a northern president?
Because he's got because a
because of Wike. Are you forgetting? Amechi is from the south too. He has his own fraction, so he has his own structure too. Most of all these Akpabio, all these guys, all of them that stand, and they are from that side. They have their own people too. When it comes to election, it's a different ball game. Like when we are trying to say, oh, the thing should go to the south. It's different from these primaries. Election, everybody has a structure. And look at the northern guys that are in support of Tinubu. So I believe half of the vote from the north will go to Tinubu.
Have you considered that? Have you considered that they are supporting Tinubu now because they know full well that they are going to knock him down? Because, like I said before, northern people don't tend to like powerful southern leaders.
Let me tell you something. If they knock him down,
hold on. Northern people actually like powerful men because they like
southern
to have.
Leaders. Not from the south.
I'm not sure, but they know they like powerful men. Abiola was a powerful man. They voted for him.
Yeah, but what happened in the
Obasanjo
end?
was a powerful man. They voted for him.
Obasanjo wasn't. Come on, let's not.
Obasanjo was not a powerful man.
Obasanjo is.
Let me tell you why Obasanjo. No, he's not the kind of guy that does radical things. He doesn't.
Right.
He's very collegiate. He goes with everybody, with whatever
It is
they want.
circumstance that warrant how people react to things, isn't it?
Someone like Tinubu can be radical. He can do real big changes that will last for decades and decades. He can change the political structure underbelly of Nigerian politics. Hence why they are going to have issue with that. I can tell you right now, this is why they prevented Obasanjo from Abiola from being president. That's why they threatened what's his name, Babangida, with it. They said these people are already ahead of us, and you want to go and make this guy this thing. He's too powerful. They're not going to let him get to that point. Watch this space. That's my suspicion. I don't know, because Tinubu is very, very clever. He's a different actor altogether. I think Tinubu is actually different from Abiola. He operates behind the scenes, not like Abiola that is just all over the place.
Oh, man, sorry, I'm going to leave now. I just want to say one thing.
All right.
I'm leaving.
I wanted to go to Ajanle Kokobo. Yeah.
I know you muted me, so that's what I'm saying. Sorry. I just want to keep this in before I go back here. You see, what we should realize right now, is there is no way all those northern guys in APC will now go back and say because they want a northern and go and support Atiku to win over Tinubu, because it's much trouble for them. If Tinubu goes in power,
sorry, yeah, go on.
Yeah, if Tinubu gets the election, wins the election, it's more power to them because they supported you, and Tinubu won't let them die. Not that kind of man. And they won't be having anybody chasing them for EFCC and all those things. So I don't understand why people believe people from APC will now go and start supporting somebody from the north when they know if power comes to APC, is more power to them rather than it going to a PDP person when they have other people. They care, man. They don't just care about us, but they care about themselves.
All right, gentlemen.
You know, one of the most redeeming faith of Tinubu is that he's a Muslim, but they care. They care about their kinsmen being the one. See, you don't understand the way the North think. The North, if somebody truly understands that they really fear the South, then you can understand that why they will fear a powerful leader from the South.
All right. I'm not sure that I agree with your reading, but thank you anyway. So that's your opinion. And I
join you guys later in the later section.
All right, brilliant. Be in a better location because your thing was not coming through as we.
Yeah, I'm at work. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Good to hear from you, DOG. So let's go on to Ajanle Koko. So Ajanle Koko. Interesting times now. Of course, we were late into it yesterday, so we saw it coming. So it's not caught us off guard, but does this catch you off guard? It says, while Tinubu, who doubles as the leader of the party, got 1,299 votes, his major opponent, so you'd expect the name to be Yemi Osinbajo, but our former governor of Rivers State and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo scored 222 votes. So that's Rotimi Amechi, who came second, and then a derisory 216 votes to Yemi Osinbajo. So 1,299 to, even if he left out the 1,000 and say, okay, take that 1,000, you know. That wasn't even a flogging. That was a massacre.
Today. What has he done to you?
But you know, he's a bad man looking good in DIOR, but the DIOR now, I'm not quite sure if he's looking so good in it anymore. Even if Tinubu decides that he wants to step down from that race, Rotimi Amechi still takes it. This is just a public humiliation of this guy, Ajanle Koko. But should the Yorubas now just disavow this guy and release him to Daura? Should they be released to Daura, Ajanle Koko?
Let me thank those of you that have clicked on the like button, and urge those that are watching us or listening to us, if you have not clicked on the like button, to do that now, and subscribe as well if you have not subscribed. One man, the process was money consumed, time consumed, and a highly stressful process. And we are not surprised of the outcome. What we predicted is what happened. Tinubu emergence as the ticket, the flag bearer of the party is long been predicted. And Amaechi performance coming at the second should not be a surprise to us as well, because these two guys are the major financier of the party at the inception. When the party was formed, these two guys are the two strongest financier of the party. So what played out here, since we know that Nigerian politics is a money-driven politics, so it's their money that who put them in the position we have them today, number one and number second. If Amaechi has spent more money than Tinubu, he will have become the number one candidate. He will have been the flag bearer. But Tinubu spent more money than him. And since the formation of the party, he has been spending money, sponsoring people, aspirants across the country within the party. So it's monetized politics. And this is what we always get. People that have so much money and will manipulate the process, and the process will work for the advantage. So as per the Osinbajo, I think he did well for not backing down. He demonstrated to us that democracy is all about contest and conviction. He have a strong conviction that as a vice president, he should be the most qualified person for the job. Haven't been around the corridor of power, or not even around, in the corridor of power for the past 7 years. He is the person that, if he's given the job today as number one president, number one citizen, he won't land on the job. He will kick the ball rolling from day one. But others, Tinubu, Amaechi, they will have to do some, particularly Tinubu will have to do on the job training for some months before he can get himself seated well and understand how the politics work well in the presidency. So
yeah, but it is his ideas that matters, though, not really the settling in. Everybody gets a settling in period, but I don't even think they'll allow him to settle in. They'll start throwing bombs just as soon as they swear him in. But
yes, but yes, the idea will work. If your idea, if you don't know how to put your idea across from day one.
But it will not be a novice to governance, because he has all these people in there already. Aregbesola, Fashola, even Yemi Osinbajo. This will be the council that will form the government.
Ideas, ideas have level. The level he had was, the idea of governance he had is at the state level. It's different from the federal level. Federal level is more complex. You are dealing with the whole federation. You are dealing with 200 million people, you are dealing with different tribes, you are dealing with different religion. I know it's so much complex at the higher level than the state level. So, but Osinbajo to me is not a betrayer. He stood for democratic process. He stood for what he believed in. He stood for. He did not ridicule the office of the vice president for backing down for Tinubu. He allowed the process to went through.
So
democracy.
Yemi is Carriot or Osinbajo. That's a bit unfair. That Yemi is Carriot.
It's very unfair. People should not call him. He's a true Democrat. If you want to see, if you want to call any one of them a Democrat, those that stood up, those that fought to the end are the true Democrat. Those that did not step down are the true Democrat. That is, politics is about contest and it's about pursuance of interest. So those that step down, well, it's well known to them, but it shows that they don't really believe in that contest they declare, or they declared they don't really believe in that. They don't have the capacity. They knew that they do not have that capacity to be the president, and they are not well prepared. They know themselves, and they don't have all it takes, to pursue the dream. So thereby they have to surrender to another person for money's sake and for other things. So, but Professor Osinbajo stood firm, even what do you call it? Our dear pastor, Bakari, I'm not stepping down, I'm stepping up. That's a very good statement. I'm not stepping down, but I'm stepping up. The result, he couldn't get no vote, but he stood up. If all of us have that spirit of standing up for what we believe in, Nigeria will be a better country. If we have that spirit of standing up to vote for the right candidate, we will have a country that will work for us. But this idea of surrendering your power, the power that you have as a citizen, to mediocre, to propaganda, and to political propaganda is what is killing that country. So Osinbajo has done well. I believe in one philosophy that says that if you fail today, you fail to pass tomorrow. So he still have a good, it's not too old, it's just 65 years. He can still contest in the future. So, but because that our politics is easy, it can easily be predicted, and it should not be like that. A situation where people can easily predict who is going to be the winner when the contest have not even started. 4 years before even the contest, we can easily look, it is possible this could be the presidential candidate of that, and that could be the presidential candidate of that. We have been predicting this when the process have not even started, when they've not even started the sale of phone or anything. We have predicted on this platform. We have said that it's going to be Atiku or Tinubu on the other side, Atiku on this side, and this is what happened. And why is it like that? It's because we understood that our politics is a monetized politics, and we know those that really have the money that can bribe their way through, and this is what they did, and that is why they secured the ticket for the two party. But then going forward from there, between the two folk, who do we think will win the presidency? I think Atiku has 70% chance of winning. And why did I say so? If Atiku pick a vice from the East, I have been saying this, and I will continue to say this, Igbo will vote for Atiku. Go and mark it down.
But the recommendation is for him not to.
Who is recommending not to?
The new politics that has now evolved with the emergence of Tinubu, to pick a Yoruba man to counterweight Tinubu, because Peter Obi is the only strong name in the East. He has already gone somewhere else. No other name from the East will come and counterweight Peter Obi. And really, where he wants to politic is to the southwest and not to the southeast.
I think Wike can do that, actually.
Now, Wike is just a money man. He's just a money man.
This is
like Tinubu is a what? Bagman? Come on,
Tinubu is an experienced and an advanced politician.
He's got money, a lot of money. They were paying money all over the place. You know that.
It's not just money. I think we're being somewhat derisory of the guy's achievements. If we're saying it's just money, it's contacts, his loyalty, his long-standing relationships. This guy has been working this gig for what, 30 years, you know.
No, I agree with you, but Wike, if you said Wike is a money man, then Tinubu definitely falls in that bracket.
Yeah, but Tinubu is a money man, but with political reach. But Wike is just a money man.
Okay, if you want to, they are money men, I guess. Yeah. That's important.
All right, back to Ajale Koko.
So, as I was saying, one man, if Atiku pick Southeasterner as its vice president, and we know that Tinubu is going to pick a northerner from the northwest or possibly from the northeast, and that person,
sorry, Ajale Koko, can we hear a quick word from Rational Mind, who wants to leave us almost immediately, but maybe because he's been waiting for so long. So Rational Mind, do you want to just take the window to have a quick say before you dash off? Rational Mind.
Well, let it be in the afternoon session because I just have to go. Thank you so much.
All right, brother. We'll see you in the afternoon or the evening. All right, thank you. Back to Ajale Koko.
So, and possibly he's going to pick a Muslim. I don't know.
Who will pick a Muslim?
Tinubu.
Oh, all right.
So, I don't know if there's a strong political figure in the north that is a Christian that I don't know. He might pick a Christian, but I'm not sure. But I'm just running my own permutation here. So,
I think you are right, because I also have been thinking about that issue of Tinubu tickets. So who's going to be his running mate? So is either you choose somebody from eastern part of Nigeria, and if you want to choose somebody from the north who is that strong enough, a Christian that is very strong enough in the northern part of Nigeria that is going to select. So to me, I think you are very right with that permutation. We are on the same page.
Okay, so we know what drives the northern politics is tribe and religion. That is what drives northern politics. So, and if Tinubu, vice president, to be a Muslim, then that will energize Christians across the country to vote a different way, because Atiku definitely is going to pick a Christian. And if you pick a Christian from the south, particularly from the southeast, I have been saying this, one man, go and mark it down. Forget about Peter Obi. Igbo will vote for Atiku. And south will vote for Atiku. And in the north, he will beat Tinubu. Go and mark it down. That is what is going to happen. They are better. They are right now, I believe the Igbo leaders
Tinubu cannot pick a Muslim.
Well,
he cannot. There are three things that move the Nigerian political space. Three things that move the Nigerian political space: ethnicity, money, and religion. And the Christian Association of Nigeria, they've been beating that drum for long and hard. Even that was why Buhari could not take him in 2015. You know, he cannot pick a Muslim. It just cannot.
Actually, Buhari wanted him, according to his address in Abeokuta. He said it was Saraki that engineered that campaign of no Muslim vice president, which forced him to quit Yemi Osinbajo. So let's wait and see what it is, whether he pick Christian or Muslim. But what I am saying here, and I want everybody to hear really loud, is that Atiku, as well, has been in this game for a long time. He's a strategic politician. Him and Tinubu used to be together in the same camp during the SDPC, in the same Yaradua camp. They understand how everything works in the game of politics. So, strategically, Atiku is going to pick Easterner so that he can give the East that sense of belonging, because it needs that Eastern vote for him to clinch the presidency. Igbo leaders can still reach out to Obi to come back if it looks like Obi can add value to the Atiku ticket. He was there. It was the vice president to Atiku in 2019. I believe they still have that strong relationship. It could still be brought back. If not possible, Atiku could strategically pick a name that everybody will surrender to in the East. If he went and picked Onwoye Iweala, that is another name.
Who's
there
that?
Are some other names.
Who's that?
That woman in
Madam Ngozi. No. She's out of the question now. She's not going to reduce herself to that level.
What is reduce? You don't know what.
And she's an APC person.
It's not APC. She's a PDP. It's a PDP woman. So I'm just saying that. That's another. That's it might not pick her, but I believe if he pick an Easterner.
So sorry, Tunaja. Let Adan Lekoko round off. Then I'll go to. I know you want to come in, but we're pushed for time. But let Adan.
I just wanted to I support what he said about Owiala. That's all.
Which is what you agree that.
But
in theory, but it's not. It's not realistic, is it? What chances do you think that?
I'm just laughing. I'm laughing at Ajale Koko and his participation.
If you didn't pick her, if you pick another person, I have seen standing that Easterner will vote for Atiku because Easterner never vote in the same camp with the West. If you go back to Nigerian history, in the First Republic, they were not together in the same camp. In the Second Republic, during the Shagari period, they were not in the same camp with the West. In the Third Republic, they were not in the same camp with the West. Even during the time of that vote of Abiola, they didn't vote for Abiola. It's only Anambra State that voted. The other two states.
Sorry, did you hear about? Somebody. It's just a comment that somebody made in the comment section. Did you hear that part of Osinbajo's speech when he told us if he becomes president, he will put Nigerians on the moon? It's the most ridiculous of men. I've not come across. That guy's a clown.
You can't call him a clown. Now, what you said that
Nigerians on the moon.
Come on, man. This guy, what have you got against Osinbajo? Leave the poor guy alone.
No, he's just a clownish sort of a fella. They first black in the world, and then we put Nigerians on the moon.
I've never seen anybody be so mean to Osinbajo. Osinbajo is a gentleman. He doesn't make trouble.
He's a Yoruba betrayer. He's a Yoruba betrayer.
Oh, I see. That's why you don't like him.
Well,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, look at our political history. Igbo never vote in the same camp with Yoruba, and Igbo are not going to vote for Tinubu, and the South are not going to vote for Tinubu. Everybody should listen clear. This is what we have seen in the past. Even in this Fourth Republic, they're never in the same camp with Yoruba. They have always been in PDP, and Yoruba are never been in. Yoruba are not PDP. PDP is not strong in Yoruba land. So this time around, they are not going to vote for Tinubu. And if Atiku put his vice president, pick his vice president from the East, and it look clear, because the game is going to look clearer to us at some point. This Obi name that is they are chanting on the internet is just like a dog barking, a toothless dog that just bark for nothing. So they are just barking. It will get to a point when they will be clear that, look, Obi cannot win this thing. So what do we do? So, and they will say, okay, what is better for us? It is better for us to be at the corridor of power than to be outside it completely. So voting for
but the thing is, they are going to stick with Peter Obi, and still it's going to be just that's Nnamdi Kanu, something that that is the prophet of our times. I say human capital development. This is what they'll start to do again.
Let me tell you, this rivalry between Yoruba and Igbo can never end. Because now, Tinubu being the head of the ticket, there is possibility of him being the president. And when he becomes the president, that means if he spent the full term of 8 years, and the power is going to go to the north again, another 8 years in the north, that's going to be 16 years before Igbo will even come up again to say they are demanding for
by the time it comes back to the south, the Yorubas will take it again.
And the Yoruba will want to stick their neck out. Yeah. So this rivalry.
If Tinubu goes now and does 8 years, and they hand it to a northerner and he does 8 years, in 16 years, the Yoruba will want it back.
Yes. So this rivalry between us and never end is still there. So if Atiku pick vice, they will do the calculation. What is better? Is it half bread or none? So voting Atiku with an Igbo man as vice that will carry them to the corridor of the corridor of power, is it not better than to stick with vote for Peter Obi that cannot carry them to anywhere? It is politics. Politics is about strategic thinking and strategic move.
All right.
It's not about. It's not sentiment all the way. Sometimes yes, you run sentiment, you run tribal at a particular point. You've got to be strategic for you to have a hard way. I mean, to have a headway to grappling what is good for you. So that is my prediction. One man. So forget about it. Yeah, Atiku will pick vice. And the Igbos will vote Atiku, South will vote Atiku. They are PDP is their party, and that is what it's going to. They got to run all this campaign against APC. That Amechi, they dump Amechi, they dump this thing. No, this is time we have to go our own this thing, and they will vote Atiku. So
brilliant.
That's my conclusion. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ajale Koko. So thank you. Let's go to Enigmatic then. So Enigmatic, MC Oluomo has made a press release to speak on the Tinubu's victory. So I'll avail you MC Oluomo's press release, and I want you to react to that as you give us your take on what just transpired. So here is MC Oluomo, his press release to the Tinubu's victory. So this is what MC Oluomo had to say about the Tinubu victory. So that was MC Oluomo's his press statement on the Tinubu victory. So what are you then making then of the Chief Agbero of Lagos reaction to the LGBT man of Lagos? So to that and your response to what's transpired, enigmatic.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's been a while. I'm very busy this morning, but I have to come for a reason. So at least for a few seconds. The last time I made some comments over here, I was very instructive with certain things that I said. I told you guys then that we all, Tinubu himself, he knows is fighting against the tide. The Kabas do not want him. Buhari do not want him. APC, with the arrangement of Abdullahi Adamu as the henchman. So they finished everything to oust Tinubu out of the race. And that is why he's always been insisting on the fact that I do not want you guys to pick me as a consensus candidate. I do not want any favor. All I want is let everybody go to the field and show what we can do. And that is that. This result actually says eventually the answers to all those questions now. The problem everybody is having with Tinubu and the mistakes they are still making. I listened carefully to Ajani Koko's narration about what will pan out and how it will. They've forgotten that Tinubu, we may not, is a man that a lot of people may have disagreements or misunderstandings, or we may not really like him, right? But you can't but like his strategic politics. Money is good. Money does politics. Money does a lot of things. But there's an extent money can go. When you see the Tinubu's political machine, if you are a very serious politician, you will think twice before you fight against him. It's not easy to fight this same cause in 2007 when he almost lost Lagos State. Everybody people who are close to Lagos politics, they know the margin that got this guy, BRF, what's his name? Fashola is second term. He almost lost Lagos State because he almost lost Lagos State. So he had this same scenario played out between him and OBJ. The same scenario played out at that time. So he has faced similar scenarios. And then over the years, apart from the fact that he has built bridges across the nation, he has built people across the nation, he has built, himself. He's been working to come to this stage for over 20 years. Osinbajo and the rest of them started working for this maybe 4 months, 2 months, or 3 months ago. Tinubu has been working a long time ago. Of course, he understands the fact that you cannot do everything by yourself. You need people to do it for you. And that's why you've seen him invest a lot in a lot of people. And he does not invest just ordinarily in people. He invests in intelligent and very visionary leaders. When you see the likes of Shetima in Tinubu's political machine, when you see those core Northwestern, Northeastern, and North Central political juggernauts, then that should give you shivers. The only person that Atiku wouldn't want to run against is Tinubu. But of course, now Tinubu is his nemesis he has to face. Let me run it down to you. Tinubu, you saw what happened last night. Regardless of whatever permutations everybody could be having, Tinubu, he lost every opinion polls on internet, social media, every strata of social media. He lost everything. But he's showing everybody now that elections are not done on social media. It is done on the ground. And I said it over here. This is reality once again. I'm coming back to tell you what will happen.
This is not on the ground. This is within the party structure.
Yes,
this is not on the
sir.
ground.
I'm just trying to lay a foundation. Okay. If wishes were horses, right? If wishes were horses,
Osinbajo would ride. Yeah.
Osinbajo would have been where Tinubu is now. Now, a lot has gone under the bridge within the last 2 weeks. That outburst in Abeokuta was not just a mistake. It was not just an error. It was a calculated, well-strategized outburst. And it was a chosen place, a chosen field, that chosen arena in Abeokuta was a strong statement that Tinubu had to react to. If you noticed the presidency's response to Tinubu, they responded to him 24 hours prior to the primaries. Adamu himself, when he was making his own threat to Tinubu that he will probably have to punish Tinubu, he made his response via CNN Hausa. So everything is highly political games that they played. Tinubu had a very, very, very like a confidential intel on prior to Abeokuta's outburst. He was supposed to go to Abeokuta because it was APC affair. He was selling himself to APC people. He has had cause severally to have meetings with Dapo Abiodun. Dapo Abiodun has been playing hide and seek. He was trying to address that before he got that intel. One of the intels, I think there were 3 of them, was there is a possibility, not even about him now, because he knew that he's already out of the race from the cabals and from everybody. Buhari he knows that for a long time ago. And that is, the story of that is for another day. Tinubu knew Buhari and cabal does not want him even less than a month of Buhari's ascension to the power. And that is what actually culminated into Buhari having his cabinet formed 6 months after. Because Tinubu had no single input in cabinet formation as against the plan, as against the arrangement. Every minister, every appointment that came from Southwest, Tinubu had no input. So that is for another day, it's another story entirely. So Tinubu knew this less than even Buhari's 5 months into office that he's already out of Buhari's plan. Good. And he's been working on his own to find a way to get to this level. So the intel was there is a possibility of a northern candidate being pronged up by Kaba and Buhari. Buhari had somebody in mind. That somebody is not Yoruba person, it's not from South at all. It's not from anywhere but an Hausa man. So that was what Tinubu was trying to let, he said one language. If you guys go back to that video in Yoruba language, he said,
who is that person if you know?
Hold on, sir. He said, Egun yi o, kì í ṣe egun tèmi nìkan, egun gbogbo ọmọ ilé ni. Gbogbo ọmọ ilé means Yoruba, right? So it means Tinubu knew that probably Abdullahi, and of course, Abdullah is the face of the Kaaba in the National Working Committee of APC. And then he was already working in Kahu with them to throw up another candidate with the pretense that they are looking for a strong northeastern candidate to wrestle power, to fight with Atiku. That will be their game plan. But Tinubu had to have that outburst. And then once again, he was addressing his party members, not Nigerians. But of course, the press people will put it out. So that Nigeria will see it as he was addressing Nigeria. He was selling himself to APC to delegates in Ogun State and addressing APC. And at the same time, he was reminding them that this is what I've been able to do. This is what I've been able to do. And he said it yesterday. I have won. I have had electoral victories after victories after victories by the virtue of political structure I've built over the years. And he was trying to remind that. And he was reminding that if you are very close to Dapo Abiodun's travel before he became governor, then you understand the story behind Abiodun's, becoming the governor. Amosun would have made a mess of Abiodun, but all these stories are for another day. So let me tell you how the Southeast, right? APC, they know they have to be careful when they are handling Tinubu's matter. There's a reason why all these shenanigans, all these dramas, postponement and everything, and everything you see that has culminated up to this level, the confusion is only about one person, about Tinubu. They don't want him, but they want every way to work around the situation of not having him emerge. But the problem with them is Tinubu has always worked ahead of time. Tinubu is always a mile ahead of you. It's a strategist, not by chance, so he knows what he knew at a certain time.
All right, and Mark Dick, just for the pressure of time, try and condense this and then project to the future and just give us a very short view on how you think things will pan out for Tinubu. Shorten it very so that I can go.
Let me give myself 3 minutes to conclude what will happen. Every other story, maybe I'll come back one day. So Southeast, 100%, they will not vote for Tinubu. They don't like Tinubu. He knows, we know already. That is a done deal, period. So the whole of Southwest is going for Tinubu, right? But Southeast, they will not even vote for Atiku either. Southeast, they are voting for nobody but Peter Obi. They are coming for the spoiler, right? Peter Obi, Southeast have issues with Atiku not giving one of their sons in PDP a chance. PDP, Southeast, they've slaved for PDP since 1999. They did not pay them well. They needed somebody from the Southwest. From the Southeast. They don't have it. So Southeast vote is not going for either Atiku or Tinubu. Where Atiku will have issues is in the North, right? Kwankwaso will eat into Kano seriously. He will eat into Atiku's vote in Kano State and in some part of the Northeast. Northwest, go and put it down. Northwest is locked down for Ashiwaju. The whole of the governors in the Northwest, all those Ganduje you are seeing, Shetima, all of them, they've locked down the
Kano has been for APC. It's going to be deficit. It's going to be deficit for APC.
Please let me. I have they are monitoring my time, and I don't want to be too. I don't want to abuse the time. Okay. So now Tinubu's vice president, teammate now probably will come from the same Northeast from where Atiku comes from, right? So an average Hausa people, they do not even want Atiku. They prefer their political career with an Ashiwaju than an Atiku. Because why? These are politicians, and there's a reason why those 12 politicians from the North stood their ground and they told Buhari this power is going to the South, because they know eventually Tinubu will clinch it. Tinubu has something going for him. If he gives a promise, he's a man that says, I will do it, and he will do it. He never betrays. So these politicians, they are going out of power. Buhari is gone in the next 10 months. Buhari will launch anything after them if he has his person as a president. But if he has Tinubu as a president, they've seen what Tinubu can do. It's true, they fought all of them, and then he will be a man of his word. He will protect them with appointment, with every other things. So when it comes to this election in 2023, Tinubu will win Atiku with a slight margin, but he will emerge the president. The North is where the show will happen. The North Central is locked down completely for Tinubu, but they will fight it to a finish between Tinubu and Atiku. But Tinubu has an edge in the North Central. The South, I don't know where they are tilting towards, but I know probably Atiku will be fielding somebody from South as his vice presidential candidate. But Tinubu has a way in South too. So one thing before I go, please do not forget Tinubu now is the face of APC. APC want to retain power as the real government, as the incumbent government. So let's put that into factor too. That's it.
All right, brilliant. Well put. So there are two things before we arrive at where you're going. So this is just a remark, and then I'll go on to FA because really we're pushed for time. So there are two things before we arrived at that analysis to test your analysis. So the two things is to see who the vice presidential candidates of each of the two men are, because we can abandon, or we cannot abandon Peter Obi, by the way, because he's a spoiler, like you said. So, but the two things is to actually see who Peter Obi's presidential vice will be as well, because he's going to pick from the north. But is he going to pick somebody like Ribadu of that ilk? He has to pick from that Ribadu sort of element within the north, because he cannot pick the senior politicians because he's painting a different story. But more importantly, the first thing we want to see is who the running mates of these two elements are. So that's the one thing then that would then lead us on that journey that you are taking us to or not. And then the second thing is their campaign. Who has the endurance? Who paints the better picture? You know, so all of that still to come. But thank you for that insertion. Very, very, very illuminating. If not everybody agrees with you in totality. I'll read out Alexander Gomez's super chat, and then after that, I'll go to FA, who hopefully is still with us, to sound his thoughts, and then we begin to round off. So this is what Alexander Gomez has to say to your analysis space, Enigmatic. It says, based on your analysis, Enigmatic, Atiku will win the general election by a landslide. Buhari will work to frustrate his lifelong ambition. So there's also that narrative. So there's a narrative that APC wants to hold on to power to cover all the atrocities that has taken place under the Buhari administration. But then there's also a narrative, which is what Alexander is painting, that visceral hatred that Buhari almost clearly has for Tinubu. We can see that he hates him, and he hates him with a passion. So that one, plus his Fulani over all else thing, may well just lead to the jettisoning of the party. So the party just essentially becomes a special purpose vehicle just to give him the presidency, and then he gives it to a Fulani man and damns it all. So all of that still in the mix, and that is what Alexander is hinting at with his super chart. Is this based on your analysis, Enigmatic, Atiku will win the general election by landslide. Buhari will work to frustrate Tinubu's lifelong ambition. So that is Alexander speaking to the politics as he knows it. So thank you for the super chat, Alexander. Let me go to you, Efe, and have you respond to this, because we've been saying it's a race between Osinbajo and Tinubu, and a lot of people. I have been saying what emboldens Osinbajo. So from the results now that we're seeing from the elections, we can see now categorically that as Osinbajo was not emboldened by Buhari, because the results that are coming in tells us that Buhari said nothing to him to give him the confidence that he has any backing. So what seems to embolden Osinbajo was all of the noise that he's hearing around him, which seems to be what emboldens Peter Obi too, and what emboldens Sowore as well in his first incarnation before reality set in. But what emboldens Osinbajo to give him the confidence, if you removed Tinubu from the elections, that emboldens Osinbajo is still a fallacy. Here are the results, Enigmatic. Tinubu 1,271, Rotimi Amechi 316, Yemi Osinbajo 235, Ahmed Lawan 152, and Yahaya Bello 47. So even without Tinubu, all the noise around Osinbajo would have just still been subservient, subordinate to Rotimi Amechi. So it's just all this empty online noise. This is what we're trying to, and this is what Enigmatic was saying, that the online noise is okay for the talking heads and the papering pace, but politics is played on the floor, on the ground, and on the ground, Osinbajo is still a T-boy. What are you making of all that, Efe?
Good day, everyone. What my analysis on this whole thing that just played out right now is that yes, Osinbajo was actually blindfolded by the whole social media analysis or prompting, the whole prompt by the social media that is capable and all that. But I felt Osinbajo made a very, very costly mistake, and he probably might not get a presidential ticket till he dies. If I were him, I would have not contested. I would have waited, just like our Atiku has been waiting. And probably when he comes back to the Southwest, Ashuraju will see him as a very loyal person to actually, work for him to gain that ticket. But as it is now, if APC eventually win the presidential election, I don't think at any point will Tinubu support Osinbajo in any of his political ambition anymore.
That's the end for him.
Yeah, that's the end for him. That's what I feel, that based on my own analysis. And I think this general election, Tinubu will win by very, very big landslide.
I disagree. That's not the end for him.
If Tinubu wins the election, which is what our FA is working with, then even if Tinubu forgives Osinbajo, he would, off the back of what just transpired, consider that he cannot trust him.
Yes.
It's not about Osinbajo alone. Are you aware of the fact that even some prominent Yoruba elders, Obas, he
told him to step down, and he was doing
he has nailed himself. He has nailed himself. So there's no way out for him again. Just forget about Osinbajo.
That's why I said he has to go to DIOR to go and live there.
The reason why
are we as educated as we are still talking this way? This man follow a democratic. It's not treachery. It's not treachery. He's the vice president of the country. He's the most qualified person for that job.
He's a greedy little man.
He's not greedy. Is Tinubu not greedy?
He's got no what structure is it? He has no structure. He has zero structure.
Tinubu imposes people on Lagosians to govern Lagos State. What are you people? Who is not greedy?
Sorry. FA wants to take his slot back. Sorry, back to FA.
Sorry, FA.
Let me say something about this whole idea of Tinubu in Lagos State. I said it yesterday. I said, and that's one of the reasons why they don't want Tinubu to get that presidential ticket. Write this date down. If Tinubu becomes the president, this country will be for the better, because this man wants to have a trademark that portrays a good leadership to the people. That whenever he says support this person, everybody believes, okay, since you did well, whosoever you are bringing on will also do well. That is just the narrative in Lagos State. I'm not saying it's not corrupt. It's very corrupt. But Lagos State today is virtually one of the strongest and the best states in Nigeria. One of the states that is actually pushing this economy, this sick economy of this country. So Tinubu is the backbone or the strategist behind the Lagos of today. And that's why I keep saying it, no political party will ever win Lagos State. Because if people are in their right senses, actually, you would not want to actually remove these particular people that has been doing good. There is nobody that will attain power today. I keep saying it, even Peter Obi. Nobody will attain power today and not be moved by the power around him or the affluence of wealth around him. So let's forget that narrative of Tinubu being a authoritarian and all that. And that is why the Buhari cabal is trying to, prevent him from actually going there. If you listen to his speech after he was declared winner of the primary election, you would, and if you listen very well and get detailed listening from everything he said, you would understand that Tinubu himself is not happy with the way Buhari has run this government. Yesterday in his manifesto during a primary election, I said it yesterday, I'm saying it now again. He said, we will go back to fulfill the promise we made in 2014. I quote that statement he said. Because he's saying to everybody, this thing we told you people, I know they've not done it. So I'm coming to make sure those things will be done. And he said something similar again during his speech about the killing of people, like being animal, nobody's showing concern. This man doesn't just want to talk anyhow so that he doesn't lose it before he gets there. But mark this day down, if he gets there, he is going to be bold enough to come out and apologize for how this government, how they've run the government for the past 8 years. So I don't see Tinubu losing the election. I see him winning. Atiku has been losing, and he's definitely going to lose this one again. And I'm very sure he cannot beat Tinubu at it. Tinubu is very good at what he does when it comes to this politics. He's very good. He said it today during his address after they declared him winner. He said he dropped his career of being an accountant to go into politics. So he's going to win the election. People are saying Atiku will win the North. Mark this day down. Tinubu will win the North with a very big margin. It will come to the Southwest.
Sorry, Efe. I'm not sure why people are always categorical with statements like that, because it runs contrary to the elections within the Nigerian space. Abiola won the North. Goodluck Jonathan won a sizable amount of the North. Obasanjo, even though he was up against a Yoruba man, so the North, they're a bit more sophisticated in their voting pattern than this just Maderi voting that everybody wants to just bracket them in.
Yes. And if you look at the northern leaders that is actually around, the northern leaders around Tinubu at this moment, they are a very big force. I will make sure they win all the votes, as many as possible for Tinubu. Tinubu will do his work in the Southwest. Yes, let's not forget about the Southeast. But you see that South, Tinubu will also get a sizable amount of votes that will make him the winner.
Don't forget that Oshiomhole is Tinubu's boy.
Delta State.
He was actually dancing. He was actually dancing today.
Oh,
he was very happy.
I had been. You see them at Akpabio, right?
Yeah. So carry on there. Efe, have we lost you?
I'm right here.
Yeah, carry on.
Let me conclude because of time.
Yeah.
Based on my own analysis, come May 29, this country will be inaugurating Tinubu. That is, if he is not killed, they don't assassinate him.
You know, thank you for saying that, because I did mention it that he should not drink any tea, because the Abiola treatment, of course, is back in play now. So just don't drink any tea.
Yeah, Buhari cannot frustrate this election. He cannot frustrate him of victory. The only thing they can do is try to assassinate him, and I'm very sure.
And they will attempt that.
Yes, and I'm very sure he's also being careful on his own side also. So, to me, Tinubu is still alive. Next year, he's going to win the election. And for Osinbajo, I personally think this is the end of his political career in the Nigerian space.
He's finished as a public. Go back.
He probably might get an appointment, just like Jonathan is getting an appointment outside. So he probably might get an appointment, maybe in United Nations or anything. But in the Nigerian space, I'm not sure he will ever become the president, because that's the highest office he can try to attain again. So.
All right.
That's just my submission.
Well, so I have to leave it
forget
here.
It's gone. Just forget it.
Yes. So I have to leave it here. So thank you, gentlemen. I apologize. I know a lot of people wanted to extend that and push you on your thoughts more, and I especially wanted to push you because there were a lot of things that you said I don't agree with. So make sure you're around in the later session, because there are certain things I want to nail you down on. Affair, and you too enigmatic. Okay. You got free rein to just take. There's a certain word, don't just come and paint pictures here. This is not a painting class. But so we round up the session here. But it would be remiss not to give the final word to the man of the moment. But the man of the moment is not Adanle Koko today, sadly. There is only really one man of the moment, and it's not even Tinubu. The man of the moment gets the moment. So to the man of the moment, and we reconvene for the evening. So hear the words of the man.
That man looking good. That man looking good in the That man to the core. That man looking good. That man looking good in the That man to the core.
And there it is, and peace.